me a little bit about yourself, because I do want to know about your personal branding. How did you build that up? And when you start to build that up?
Yeah. So there's two key components that's going to help you be more successful. One is your personal brand, and personal branding is all about what is your values, what is it that you're naturally good at, what do people can see in you naturally. So your personal brand needs to be something that people go, I see you're more of a technical guy, an IT guy, and that you are very friendly, you can work in a team. That's your brand. When someone looks at you or they think about you and they'll go, yep, this is how they describe you. That's your personal brand. All right, so to understand that, you need to understand yourself a fair bit. The second part is your professional brand. So this is probably quite new. A lot of people, no one really teaches you this, but professional brand means when someone is hiring you, they're hiring you for you from a professional sense. Yeah, they're hiring you because they're paying you money for you to solve their problems. They're not paying you money for the sake of paying you money. They're paying you money specifically for you to do something. So your professional brand is all about selling. What is it that you can do to solve that particular problem? Yeah, and it's aimed purely at that problem. So if they've got a marketing problem, let's say for example, and you are really good at communications, talk about all the communication things that you can do. You can write newsletters, you can write blogs, you can do videos, you can do social media, and the more you can talk about that problem in that communication space, they'll go, you know what you're talking about, and you will specialize in that, and we want to hire you. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Right. And when did you realize that you change yourself to build that personal brand and professional brand?
I started to analyze people because my job as a recruiter, over the last 11 years, I've interviewed over 10,000 people. I'm constantly interviewing people. So each time I read a resume, I'm looking at it, does it match to what I'm looking for? Each time I'm picking up the phone and speaking to someone over the phone and asking them very specific questions. Do they align or match with the role? Each time I'm interviewing them, asking an interview question, because that's me on the other end, I'm making sure that everything fits in. I started to realize that the people that were most successful had that personal brand and professional brand, regardless of their experience. Like as in, regardless they had not even relevant experience, regardless of their qualification. Because if you think about it, ask some people out there, ask the successful people out there, did they get a job that they had the same experience or background? Most people don't.
Right.
They don't. They have totally something different. They come from a different background, different qualification most of the time. So it doesn't actually mean that your experience or your qualifications makes you successful. It's actually the interaction part, the speaking and the interviewing part. Because if you can't pass an interview, if you can't speak to someone, you're never going to get a job. Doesn't matter how good you are on paper, doesn't matter how much experience that you have, doesn't matter you worked for a really good company. If you can't pass the interview, you're never going to get a job.
So you talk about, other people helping you to realize your real ability, your real talent. But is that sometimes a little bit pushover for you to just listen to everybody and then do as they say?
No, it's more getting feedback on how they see you.
Right.
Because we're really good at judging people. Yeah, we will judge anyone around us. Straight away we'll make a judgment about the way they wear, the way they look, the way they talk, right? Yeah. Or their background, in your mind all the time, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to judging yourself, if I had to ask you to judge yourself, people have no idea how to judge themselves because they don't know what other people think about them. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Right.
So the more you understand what people start saying or thinking about you, you then start to understand yourself more. And then either you can use it to your advantage, the things that are good that you want them to think, and you go, yeah, I actually wanted them to think that I'm smart, or whatever it is, right? But the things that they are a bit more negative, they go, oh, that guy he doesn't listen, doesn't like to listen, or doesn't show that he's very warm and doesn't like to be friendly. those things then you maybe want to change to mold it into something that is going to be, that perfect image of yourself. Because once you have that image, if you think about all the stars out there, all the famous people out there, when you look at them, you've got an image about them straight away. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they know who they are, and then the world knows who they are. So that's why asking for feedback is very, very important, because feedback is actually truth. It's truth about you, and it depends on what you want to do about that truth. If you want to take action, or if you don't want to take action. But exactly right. But in the end, it's if you want to build yourself into a better person, you have to change certain things, and that's the only way that people learn, and that's how I learned. Because I wasn't born. No one's born perfect, right? No one's born good. So you need to improve yourself.
Above all, what is your advice with the people who really discovered themselves already, but they still didn't know, they still don't know what to do right away after discovering their ability?
The first thing that you really need is to get a job. Because experience, especially here in Australia, will outweigh qualifications. People always look at, or you may have heard, we prefer experience. Yeah, we prefer, or some sort of experience. Doesn't matter if it's overseas, doesn't matter if it's here, local experience. Obviously they have a preference of local experience, but experience is still experience. Because experience, the problems that you will face in a job outweighs the problems that you will deal at university. Because at university, it's always the same problem. And the problem is, I worked in a project with a team. And we had to do an assignment together. If you think about it, right? The problems are exactly the same. And each time I used to interview a graduate, that was their response. 9 out of 10 times, their response was, give me an example whenever you face a problem or work in a team. I remember when I was working in a project for this assignment.
So you want to get experience to showcase that you're different straight away. It will always outweigh it. Now, I want to give you a key tip for you and the viewers is that on how to get a job better, how to actually stand out from an interview. Okay? So what you can do is in a group could be 3 to 4 people. In that group, all you need is a group of people. You need a timer, so it could be using a mobile. And what you do is each person needs to go up on stage or in a setting, an open setting, and they need to present to the rest of the group about themselves. So and the time frame is 60 seconds. They need to pitch themselves to that group. What makes them unique and why they should be hired. And the group needs to score them. Okay? They need to score you. So you imagine that you're on stage and you're doing a pitch about yourself. Because in an interview, you're pitching. You're constantly pitching about yourself to say, hire me, and this is why. So you have to practice that. And the biggest reason people fail in an interview
is they get nervous, they forget to say things, or they say random things, and because they don't know how to pitch about themselves. So the more confidence that you can build in pitching yourself to your friends or to even strangers, or even to start recording yourself, that skill is going to help you get a job because you're going to get over the nerves. Yeah. So that's a key tip that's going to highly increase your chances of getting a job.
That's great. I mean, is that from your own experience in being interviewed?
I'm naturally a shy guy. I'm naturally very shy, and the only reason why I was able to make a good impression from a factory job into a corporate job recruiter was because I would put myself in the settings to talk to people that I wasn't normally comfortable with. I was shy approaching people and asking how's your day, or if someone I didn't know. I'm naturally very, very shy, but I got over it, and that was the skill that helped me get jobs in the future, helped me get promotions, helped me do whatever I want to do. And even, especially now in my business, it helps me talk to directors, CEOs, founders, people that are earning multi-million dollars, and I can talk to them because if I can't talk to them, if I can't hold my own, and I feel nervous, they can tell straight away, and straight away they're not going to do business with me. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Always keep in mind that you should get a job to mainly gain more experience and stay hungry for all the jobs out there. With the youngsters, nowadays we have so many choices, and sometimes we get lost. And I really hope that your advice today will somehow help us to be on the right track. And thank you for today. For really have a mentoring advice for me on how to really discover myself. And I really hope that in the future we'll have some other time to work on this topic or on some other interesting topics with each other. And once again, thank you for your time, your effort, and your advice.
You're welcome. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.